Graduate student, sorry.
Yep, graduate student from Orange, California, the Cali boy, living in the Midwest now. Snow and wrestling, right?
Right. Here we go. We are underway. Quick poke of the eye maybe there real quick.
Yep, got to fix the contacts. I actually stopped wearing contacts while I competed for that exact reason.
Really? Did that alter your vision at all then?
I could feel enough.
Nice shot by Cronin. And now DeAugustino with a little shuck by, it looked like. I mean, it's Cronin on one leg, but Cronin's very balanced here.
That was a beautiful right there. Beautiful funk roll, what they would call it, into a single leg. Needs to pop that head out to the side. But he's doing a really good job. DeAugustino's keeping that head kind of stuck on that hip. So he climbed over the top of it. I think this might end up in a stalemate, but great job by Cronin sitting to that position. Now he's going to elevate and look to sit back and put that pressure towards the back. DeAugustino did a really nice job rolling right there. And yep, we're going to go to a stalemate.
And both guys, that's what's going to be fun about this match. Both guys really comfortable scrambling and in those positions where someone's in deep on the leg and they can do the splits or they can roll through. So this will be a fun, and who can win the scrambles?
Right, and the thing I love, nice shot right there, attempt by Cronin. He does a really good job with the underhooks. You know, we were able to pop in the wrestling room earlier before practice or before the duel and watch that, and he loves his underhooks. And so if he can capitalize on that position, that would be the spot that ultimately will lead him to victory.
Minute and a half gone in the period, still no score. And to your point, he had that underhook heavy on Friday against Patrick McKee in that 11-6 victory, which he was really pumped up about.
And yeah, you should be, you know, and those wins matter, right? Especially for Big Ten seeding for the NCAA tournament. Those wins are going to matter. But I think more so than those wins, it's about what you learn about yourself along the way.
I'll reset here one more time. Looks like a stalemate. So 1:09 left to go in this first period. Still no score.
I think what you're going to want to see right here from DeAugustino, he's going to have to start showing some first offense. You know, he has great reattacks. He has great defense and counterattacks. And so you want to see him get to his offense. Cronin looks like he's pushing forward with his own offense right now. Nice shot right there from the underhook. And it's looking like he's going to collect on this. A great scrambling right here. Run out by Cronin, and he continues to sit and face back in. This is really good wrestling.
30 seconds to go, so still a little bit of time here for DeAugustino to capture, and Cronin does a nice job, like he said, just tying things up, making it difficult to finish, and we got another stalemate, 24.8 here in the first period.
Yeah, as you can see, Cronin has a little bit of a lower stance than DeAugustino, and I think that allows him to get to that underhook a little bit. But it definitely doesn't look like DeAugustino minds being in that overhook position, and that might be due to his coaching staff. Joe Cologne was a big underhook, overhook guy, upper body attack guy, and I think you're maybe seeing a little bit of that influence right there.
First period ends. Both guys were in on a shot, unable to score, so we will go to the second period scoreless. DeAugustino choice, he will go down. So Cronin gets a chance in the top position.
So what's your first move right here? How are you going to respond when you're down? Tripod action right here. Good job by DeAugustino.
Yeah, 6 seconds, so up and out quick. Back to our feet where we were the entire first period.
Cronin gets back to that underhook.
Right away.
And the thing he's doing a really good job of is he's controlling that left hand of DeAugustino, and he's looks for a hip toss right there. Nothing's going to come out of it. Tries to windmill that arm, but he's continuing to move forward. Now he gets to a nice low single. He's going to have to collect that leg and continue to, this is like what you call maybe the waterfall position. He's going to have to continue to get those hips away and lean back into that position and turn in and collect that waist of DeAugustino. As he puts his back in danger, you should look to see the danger count.
Looks like he got a 1 danger count, but now he's almost has a cradle locked up, and he does, and a 2 takedown.
Oh my gosh. Cronin with the cradle, and he's looking for back. Uh-oh, it's going to get wild in here if this. And he steps over it. He needs to settle. He needs to get his hips down. Good job. He still has that cradle locked up, but DeAugustino is able to get that hand in to separate and create some separation. So what he's going to do right here, he wants to pinch that left arm. Cronin pinch that left arm to his hip and really crunch the head of DeAugustino.
25 seconds to go. He does have that 4 count, so he will get 4 back.
He's looking to adjust that. You see that left hand of DeAugustino is keeping that leg at bay, but what you want to see is you want to see Cronin walk that leg up to his head. Short time left.
Looks like he's going to hang out here. Collect 4 back points. And he's over a minute riding time. Husker faithful know it and love it, so it will be his choice. He will go down. 6-1 with the lead for Cronin, and DeAugustino, maybe a flashback to Friday when he got pinned in a cradle from Spencer Lee.
Yep, he was able to fend this one off.
Yep.
And now we're going to see how he responds. I think that's been the key word, right? Early on in this duel is the response, right? And Cronin clearly is responding really well to that big win that he had on Friday evening. DeAugustino is going to have to find his stride at some point.
Yeah, Cronin did come in after that win. He's now won 10 in a row, so he is off and rolling here early on as we enter Big Ten season. DeAugustino trying to throw the legs in, and Cronin caught it. Now he's looking for a reversal. He has both ankles, and they will award the reversal.
Yep, and I'm curious to see. Yep, I thought the ref might go stalemate. DeAugustino had collected that backside, but Cronin wasn't really able to move up, and you don't want to see a stalemate or a stalling call right there. So I think the ref made the right decision, gave him a stalemate, gave them both a fresh start.
And now we are reaching bonus point territory. If Cronin can finish the period on top, he'll collect a minute riding time and a 9-1 victory, which would be a big 4 points for Nebraska here early on.
Bonus points matter for sure. Cronin doing a really good job. He took that 11 seconds. Now he's going to look to build.
Cronin was looking in his corner. He's looking for an optional start.
And I think right here, this is where you take the opportunity to really apply pressure to somebody and create that thought process. Man, I don't want to wrestle this person. This person wrestles hard. They continue to look to score points. They continue to look to, get to my legs, put me on my back. And those are the things that matter at the big show. Nice throw attempt right there from DeAugustino. But Cronin going to get the takedown, misses the back points, but Cronin is wrestling on fire right now.
Big takedown, and like you said, now, as you kind of widen the gap, the next time these two wrestled, does that stick in the back of your mind a little bit, how wide the score was or how big the gap was?
I think it does. Some people will tell you, new match, new day. But I think when someone scores that many points on you, unless there's, something that we don't know, an injury, things like that, then I think it does start to take an effect on you mentally. But that's part of wrestling, right? And that's the beautiful part of wrestling is that you have an opportunity to grow right here, looking for an outside step. Some may call that the Gatson, but he, Cronin did a good job hitting the whip over. Beautiful job right there. Riding time at 1:41, so he's going to collect that point. That riding time is locked in. Nice big lift. That was a beautiful mat return right there. And this is just to show, look, I can keep you down when I need to. Yeah, this is just a statement right here, the last 22 seconds, just to show, I can do this when I needed to. Beautiful, beautiful outing by Liam Cronin.
A very good weekend for Liam Cronin, and he is pumped up. Husker faithful appreciative of the effort he just gave, and that's a big 4 points. 11-2 victory for Liam Cronin. He knocks off Patrick McKee and Michael DeAugustino in back-to-back matches. Both of them were All-Americans last year, so he's having one heck of a weekend and one heck of a season. That's now 11 in a row.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one. I wanted to see how Tal-Shahar responds after that kind of lopsided loss in terms of the scoreboard on Friday and what he comes out with. And Brock had a beautiful win versus Minnesota on Friday as well. So they're coming from different perspectives, but they're both here in the center of the mat ready to compete.
Brock Hardy, the redshirt sophomore, similar to Cronin, he's on a hot streak. He's won 17 in a row. And like you said, Frankie Tal-Shahar, he wrestled Real Woods, second-ranked Hawkeye, and lost technical fall 17-2, but it was 14-0 at the end of the first.
Yep, nice shot right there. Throws the head inside, Hardy does. But Tal-Shahar able to get to his feet. He has that hand connected, and he's able to go finish that. Wait. Nope, and they're going to go out of bounds. Action called out of bounds. That was great wrestling by both of those athletes.
Yeah, he was ready to call two.
He went to the waist, and Hardy continued to compete. So that was a great job. That's why you want to solidify legs. You don't run waist. If you're a kid watching at home, always run down the legs.
Minute 45 to go. We're still scoreless. Tal-Shahar comes in with a record of only 3-2. His first competition was actually at the Midlands just before the new year, and he went 2-2. So, do you think that plays a little bit of a role here? He's only wrestled 5 matches to this point.
I definitely think that plays a role because you got to, especially when you're probably coming off injury, when you don't, wrestle that early in the season, you're probably usually dealing with the injury. Another shot right there from Tal-Shahar. Or when you're coming off an injury, you're really trying to figure out your flow and your mojo again oftentimes. Nice drag attempt right there from Tal-Shahar, but nothing there, no opening from Hardy. You're trying to figure out that swagger and get your mojo back in. So I would think that he's going to be a totally different wrestler by the time March hits.
40 seconds to go. Still scoreless here. Hardy still waiting to see him get on his offense a little bit.
And I think Hardy has a little bit of a more untraditional offense. He doesn't maybe hit his knees as often, but he uses, underhooks, collar ties, shucks, and slide bys, to build his offense. Nice snap right there with Tal-Shahar. He's going to have to snap and run the corner. He's allowing that right hand. Hardy's doing a good job with that left hand, keeping it tied up. He's going to have to just run the corner down. But they come back to their feet.
Nice little flurry there at the end of the period. No score, and they just hit Tal-Shahar, I think, for stalling.
Yeah, that was a tough call right there, especially at the end of the period. I thought they were, just wrestling hard, and I thought that would have been an action call, but these referees definitely have hard jobs for sure.
Yeah, you got that right. Tal-Shahar starts on bottom, so Hardy will have a chance to ride here.
Nice job from Tal-Shahar getting that leg and looking to elevate. Gonna have to be careful here.
Tal-Shahar.
Yeah, riding time's still going up for Hardy in this situation. So he's fine right here. He's gonna keep that. That's beautiful. I think some of the fans wanted to, not realizing that Tal-Shahar started the period down.
So we'll reset here. Minute 23 in the second period here. Hardy with 37 seconds of riding time and climbing. Fans almost wanted to explode when they thought Tal-Shahar was going to be on his back. Nice job fighting off.
Hardy doing a good job of snaking that leg and getting that figure four action, making Tal-Shahar really carry that weight. What you want to see right here from Tal-Shahar is really sit to his butt, probably that right hip, and start putting that pressure back into Hardy so he can get to that sit-out position and start to free himself from the hands of Hardy, I guess you could call it. But Hardy's doing a good job using his whole body with the legs and tying up those wrists of Tal-Shahar.
Yeah, Tal-Shahar, when he even gets to this position, Hardy just quickly throws in that leg, leaving no room to breathe for Tal-Shahar.
Yeah, Tal-Shahar did a good job right there, crawling forward. But he's going to want to get that right hip down and get to a sit position. But Hardy doing a good job keeping that pressure forward, not really allowing there. That leg comes right back in. See, he's doing a good job of mixing and matching. He's keeping him occupied with his hands, and then he throws that leg in while he's thinking he's up on his upper body. You know, that's a master class in how to ride legs 101 for sure.
Yeah, he rode him the whole period, so now Hardy will go down. 2 minutes of riding time, so now it's Frankie Tal-Shahar's opportunity. He looks like he'll go optional start here.
Yeah, I think he wants to test his skills on the feet. You know, you feel like you can go get a takedown, maybe even two, if you're Tal-Shahar with, you know, when you're deciding to cut somebody. So he's gonna have to find that offense, I think, once at least in the first minute of this period to give himself a chance.
Minute 35 to go. Shot by Hardy, stuffed by Tal-Shahar. So now let's see what he can come up with here.
Wasn't able to capitalize on that shot from Hardy right there, but nice head pull to the outside single. Oh man, that was beautiful wrestling right there from Hardy.
And for him to stay the aggressor, you know, he's up 1-0. He doesn't necessarily have to take a shot there, but he did because he's, you know, that's the way Manning coaches him.
Yeah, I think he did a good job. He let Tal-Shahar get comfortable kind of moving forward and use that, you know, energy against him. And
now we have reached the 149-pound matchup here for the Wildcats. Number 5 ranked Yahya Thomas, 13-1 on the year, and he will be taking on Dayne Morton, the senior from Gaylord, Minnesota, coming off, like you said earlier, a big upset and a big win over Michael Blockus of Minnesota.
yeah, he did a beautiful job. He just stayed in there. He continued to compete late into the match and created and found an opening and was able to solidify it. As Blockus got a little bit high on his positioning and got a reversal. So great job from Morton.
Yahya Thomas coming off a big win of his own over Max Murin on Friday, 3-2 in Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Yeah, showed a lot of great energy. Got the takedown late. Was very excited about that opportunity to, I think, get a match back from that 2022 Big Ten championships that he lost to Murin. And so I really like the way Yahya wrestles. He has a lot of skills. Wrestles a bunch of freestyle in the off season. But Morton, he's definitely not gonna roll over. Coming off that win, he probably wants to feel that a few more times, especially in front of a home crowd. So I'm excited to see how this plays out.
Yeah, and if you're the Northwestern Wildcats and you're looking at the duel and trying to come up with how you're going to win, this is one of those matches, though, that you're looking at going, we need bonus points. We should expect bonus points from somebody like Yahya, who finished All-American third, actually, a couple years ago. Also, I thought this was cool. He was a member of the Harvey Twisters club for 10 years.
Yeah.
Remember the Harvey Twisters?
Yes, I do. I have some L's on my record from the Harvey Twisters, that's for sure. I probably have a couple W's as well, but definitely have some losses. They've done a great job, the Harvey Twisters out of Chicago.
Yes.
I think we got an eye poke right there.
Two minutes gone here, so 58 seconds to go. No score yet. But as we've seen in the first few matches here, just because there's no score in the first period doesn't mean there can't be some fireworks here later on in the next couple periods. Little handshake there as to say almost, sorry about that, my bad.
Absolutely.
Back at it.
And you see Yahya has that brace, but immediately gets in on a single. Great work right there from Morton.
The strength, though, of Yahya Thomas to hold on to that leg, that foot with one hand. Wow.
Like, I'm surprised that wasn't a little bit more uncomfortable for him, especially with that big old shoulder brace on.
Yeah, this is one wrestler, you know, over the couple years, you know, I've been watching him since he's burst onto the scene at Northwestern. He is very athletic and very quick. You cannot take your eyes off this Yahya Thomas.
Yeah, he has great skills too. Great mat savviness, great awareness. He usually knows where he's at on the mat. He does a good job of finding small openings that lead to opportunities to score points.
We will end the first period scoreless. And it will be Dayne Morton's choice. He will go down. And, you know, I want to add one last thing you said to that. Those small openings, that are only openings I feel that he can capitalize on, which is what makes him so special and why he's ranked number 5th in the country.
Absolutely. See what he's going to do here from the top position. Morton gets to quad pod positioning. He's trying to find his way for first point of the match with maybe an escape. Yeah, you're going to have to put some energy into making a mat return. Here he goes. He gets that mat return. Doesn't flatten Morton out all the way, so I assume Morton will have an opportunity to build up pretty quickly here, but Yahya doing a good job staying behind the shoulders and then the hips.
Putting a lot of pressure.
Yeah, that pressure. You know, you see that right leg of Morton was off the ground for a little bit, and with that, you can't get any traction, you know.
And a great job, like you said, kind of with Morton not being flattened out. Morton has not gone to his belly yet. As we have a minute gone here, he has stayed in that position there with his knees under him. And they just hit Yahya Thomas for stalling.
I can see that. I can understand that call. He had done a good job, though, of staying behind the hips. I don't know if he necessarily looked emphatically for a turn, and I think that's what the ref maybe was feeling. But I think Storniolo is right for going to bat for his wrestler, especially in an away gymnasium.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. You know, he was covering the hips, not really, like you said, emphatically, the word you used, looking for a turn, but also Storniolo, like you said, going to bat for his wrestler there. Saying, what more do you want?
Beautiful mat return right there. And I think, you know, like if you're a coach, nice claw action right here from Yahya. He wasn't able to get the points right there, but doing a really good job of securing that ride. But if you're a coach at home, there's something to be said about what Dayne Morton is doing by staying on his base, you know. And so, like, that's one of the drills that I was fortunate enough to go through when I was in high school, in college, is like, if you get flat on your belly, we can't really do much for you other than teach you how to build up. But staying on your base, you know, oftentimes you stay away from giving up back points. Nice sit-out position right there, but Yahya able to follow. Now, great job by Morton. Gets back to that sit-out and capitalizes.
That's a big escape with short time here too.
Took advantage of it. You have to score at the end of periods, whether that's takedown, escapes, near falls. Those are points you can't get back. So great job by Morton, again, continuing to compete, and I think he's proven to himself that he can compete consistently at this level in this conference. Right there, gets to the sit out, goes, boom. He throws that right hand up to block Yahya from continuing to follow. Boom, look at the right hand comes up to block. It's a great job right there by Morton.
Yahya Thomas's turn. He will go down. He's up to his feet right away.
And Morton's going to have to look for a return right here. Yahya's doing a good job staying on his feet. Might want a nice mat return.
To much appreciation of the crowd.
Yeah, the fans like good wrestling. I think Morton, after that win on Friday, is feeling good, and the fans want to show him appreciation for that.
Yeah, you know, like you said, Morton started 4-7, so I think looks like he jumped there early, or at least that's what the ref concluded. Morton, you know, he's 4-7 now in the year, and that could be a momentum-changing win.
Absolutely.
Over a guy like Michael Blockus, who came in ranked 14th.
Nice escape right there from Yahya. And yes, it can be, because a lot of it at that level, you know, finding a way onto the podium, being the consistent starter, you know, getting 50, 60, 70, you know, wins in a career comes down to confidence. What's your belief like when you get to a room and you're no longer the best guy like you were in your high school? Nice attempt right there from Morton. Yahya able to use his re-attacks and run those feet and go and collect. Great re-attack right there by Yahya. Super aware again of where you're at, and there's some of that speed, but also just that mat intelligence, or that mat IQ from Yahya right there. Now I assume he would probably try to ride out to control this last period with that riding time locked up now.
Yeah, but Morton, you know, like his wrestlers before him, as their other Huskers, he's wrestling the entire time. So, you know, Yahya has his work cut out for him.
Yep, and I think Morton wants to get back to that sit position and then sit out just like he did. Yep, there he goes. But he's able to get that tape now. A takedown puts it in overtime.
Yeah, here we go, 20 seconds.
Yep, well, I think we might see some re-attacks. But Morton, what's your go-to attack right here? Yahya using the hand fight to slow down Morton. Morton looks for a duck peek attempt. Nothing there, looks for a shuck by. He's going, but he wasn't able to find an opening.
So Yahya Thomas will come away victorious. After writing time point added, it is 4-2 victory for Yahya Thomas. That pulls the Wildcats within 1 in the duel. Huskers 7, Wildcats 6. And now we will move on to the 157.
From Iowa. I'm excited to see how he responds. I think he's a really coachable kid, and they're gonna have a game plan for Robb. But I'm also excited to see Robb. Nice head outside, high crotch. Good job right there by Robb. He's collecting that leg of Chumbley, but it's going to be tough to get his head to poke out. But as Robb looks to elevate, Chumbley has to be careful right here. The Illinois product. Now he's keeping that head collected. Great work. Robb's going to have to try to sneak that right arm out, but they're going to go out of bounds. Great wrestling right here.
Yeah, great attack by Robb, but great defense by Chumbley. Like you said, the Illinois product, St. Charles, Illinois Marmion Academy. 17-3, you know, thought that should be a victory for him over Seabrook. Unfortunately dropped that one, so word of the day, or word of the duel, resilience.
Right.
So let's see how he responds here today, wrestling against the #1 ranked Peyton Robb.
Right, this is just the opportunity to right the ship, you know. ships at Harvard are safe, right? And each weekend these young men come out and compete in the Big Ten Conference, and their ships are at sea, for an analogy, and so they come out, scrap, and sometimes those ships have a few leaks. They're battered, bruised up, things like that, especially when it's short weekends, like you wrestle on a Friday, then you have to do a little bit more travel, wrestle on a Sunday. Um, it takes a lot, but these are, some of the best and the brightest student athletes here, so I'm excited to see how they compete.
And something that you had to deal with as your time wrestling at Iowa State, national champ for Iowa State. You went down and would wrestle Oklahoma and then Oklahoma State on a Friday, Saturday, or Friday, Sunday. So, you're talking not only from the outside perspective but also experience.
Yeah, it was a lot. There was a lot. You had school still to do. Nice attempt right there by Robb. Great defense from Chumbley. Nice snap, and he's getting to that front headlock position. He's going to have to find ways to turn that into opportunities to score. Like, he's wearing on it, I know for sure, but he's going to have to really find an opportunity to go collect. And that's the position that I think nationwide that makes a big difference. When a guy takes an attempt and you get to that front headlock position, the guys that are winning NCAA titles, the guys that are getting on the podium consistently are capitalizing on that position.
20 seconds left here in the first period. No score.
Another nice attack right there by Robb, and he gets the stalling call along with it. But again, waterfall position, goes back and circles, but Chumbley's going to have to be careful. He's going to look to maybe roll through, and nothing given.
Time just ran out on Robb. Chumbley just enough to hang on to end that period scoreless. And now looks like Chumbley will go to the corner. A little bit of blood time here.
Yeah, you talked about just like the grind. What is that like? You're wrestling 25 to 35 matches depending in a full schedule. That's no nicks, bruises, no, maybe mental health issues, things like that. There's a lot of things that these student athletes are dealing with when they do, come step on the mat, that they have to compartmentalize and really maybe put by the wayside for the moment being to try to achieve maybe their purest performance. And shout out to all the student athletes, shout out to the training, the medical staff, support staff, and the coaches and academic advisors and everybody involved with helping build these young men.
Chumbley starts the second period down, gets to his feet right away. Robb doing a great job staying behind. Brings him down once, and they go out of bounds.
And I think the thing I like most about Robb is he can threaten to put you on your back. He has some good things, and he'll find a way to even on the edge right there, they go out of bounds. But he was looking to put Chumbley on his back, and once you put somebody on their back, nice mat return right there, you open up the match.
Yeah, Robb riding tough. He defeated Brayton Lee of Minnesota on Friday 2-0, and one of those points came via riding time. He rode Brayton Lee out the whole third period, and here's a turned attempt. See there.
Yeah, he's collecting that wrist. He has that wrist collected. Now he has Chumbley stretched out, doing a really good job staying behind the hips. But the thing that I think is most impressive is that he continues to threaten the back, right? And when someone continues to threaten you and put you on your back, that is scary. So you have to definitely be more aware. You might not be able to be as free with your movements. And so he's doing a great job staying behind those arms. I'd want to see him come off to the side right here. He's kind of laying right parallel with Chumbley right now. I'd like to see him come off to the side and continue to threaten that back and continue to keep those wrists tied up.
Interesting point you made about threatening about to put somebody on their back. I feel that was also a little bit of the case in the last match where Yahya is threatening and on their feet. So you have to be, like Morton was very good at staying in good position and not allowing Yahya, because he can, we talked about it, scoring in moments notice, so you have to be very mindful of that.
Yeah, and that's why he did a good job. He kept that right side tied up. If you're Chumbley, like you get to go back and watch this, you're going to want to keep that pressure going back and get that right hip down so you can get to that sit-out position. I think the sit-out position in wrestling is underrated. Get to that sit, you're on your butt, and you're clearing those hands. That position can free up a lot. I think we've been seeing the sport go to more of a tripod, quad pod opportunities, but that sit-out position can definitely be won.
Chumbley releases Robb without contest, so Robb is now up 1-0. He has minute 56 of riding time. And real quick comment on that sit-out position that you're talking about. I think that helps create space better than the quad pod or the tripod.
Yep. Nice attempt right there from Robb. They get another scramble. Chumbley's doing a good job. Now we're back to the waterfall position. What you want to see right here from, Robb, he has those ankles tied up, so he's just going to sit that one out, and they're going to go back to their feet. But Chumbley's going to have to find a way either to scramble or go find your way to a leg attack, which we haven't really seen from him yet. But he's doing a good job in the hand fight, and he's doing a good job staving off Robb with his defense.
1 minute to go here. 1-0 is the score. Chumbley is only a takedown away from essentially tying this match, as riding time has become locked in. So essentially a 2-0 match for Peyton Robb.
Yeah, he's doing a good job, but Chumbley, I think he has to get that right hand inside. It's chilling over the top often, and it's really hard to create offense over the top unless it's like a slide-by action. But usually on those slide-by actions, you have to follow it up with something else and create that like chain wrestling or flow wrestling action where you're continuing to move and look for something else. So that right hand needs to, I think, probably come inside, or he needs to turn that into a heavy snap as a setup to get Robb off balance to find a way to an attack.
Still, like you said, still hasn't really gotten past the head-hands defense of Robb, as we're now down 5 seconds to go here. It looks like Robb will become victorious. The crowd starts to cheer. 2-0 Peyton Robb for the second time in a row this weekend with a ride out and an escape, and he wins 2-0 to pull the Huskers ahead now 10-6. Yeah, I could see when that takedown happened, some Husker fans clapping a little bit quietly, maybe wanted to stand up to support Max Mayfield, as he is the one who gets the victory 7-2, and that brings us to the 174-pound match where we have, for Northwestern, Enkhmandakh taking on Mikey Labriola.
And like you talked about earlier, Kelby, you talked about bonus points in matches maybe where you're favored. As Labriola is the number 2 ranked wrestler in the country, I'm excited to see what product he puts out here today. I'm excited to see what Ankhaa does. Coming off a loss on Friday, double unders right here for Ankhaa. They're going to go out of bounds. Action call.
30 seconds gone here. First period, still no score. Like you said, Ankhaa defeated by Nelson Brands 8-2. Labriola got a nice victory over Bailey O'Reilly 5-3 on Friday.
And those have always been tough matches for Labriola, but nice single right there. Head gets pinched inside, and Ankhaa able to clear that. And he's done a good job, like, early in the match, and then things maybe later in the match have, where it's been separated. But he definitely comes out with great energy. I like the way Labriola wrestles as well, has an array of different attacks, and he knows how to win a few different ways. Looking for Overhook shuck attempt right there, Labriola. Nothing comes of it. Nice straight double. Enkhmandakh able to defend that off nice and look for his other thing, and Labriola shows some great athleticism and jumps out of it.
Yeah, so far, like you said, Enkhmandakh having some pretty good defense, hanging in here. As like you've mentioned, for most of his matches, he does hang in there a little bit at the beginning. Things kind of maybe sort of get carried away towards the end, but the first 3 minutes, he's hanging in tough here.
Yeah, I think if there's 3 C's of nice double pulls up, Enkhmandakh does into an underhook and looks to drive Labriola off the mat, but Labriola able to circle. If you have like 3 C's of wrestling, it'd be confidence, conditioning, you know, and character, you know, and so how do you exploit those things for your benefit? Or how do you use those things, you know, to benefit yourself? So the ability to believe in yourself and your skills is amazing. Nice low single right there from Labriola, and he's able to collect and get the takedown. So right here from Enkhmandakh, again, we go back to that word of the duel or word of the day, you know, respond, resilience. How does he respond from this? As he looks like he's carrying a little bit. He's going to have to try to find a way to get to his feet. Labriola looking to stretch him out.
Late period takedown by Labriola ends the period on top. 2-0 is the score here. Enkhmandakh defers. Labriola will go down to start the second period.
Right here, boom, goes the right hand from the collar to the ankle and is able to circle his hips to the left and collect that beautiful takedown. Now Labriola up to his feet right away. Enkhmandakh looks to lift for a second and cuts him loose.
Stretches the score to 3-0. Labriola with the lead.
I think the thing that Labriola is doing really, oh man, that was a beautiful attempt right there. Goes to the right leg, Enkhmandakh takes it back, and he capitalizes with his left hand and circles his hips to the right side this time and gets the takedown. But he's keeping Enkhmandakh moving the whole time. He hasn't allowed him just to stay and just move hands within the hand fight when they're on their feet. He keeps his feet moving through fakes, snaps, and that requires a ton of energy.
And now he's looking for a turn here as he's got that left arm barred up. Trying to collect the far wrist here. 1 minute to go. Second period, 5-0 Labriola with the score. A couple of takedowns and an escape for him so far.
Yep, and you get a stall call and a point for Labriola. He's trying to threaten, open some things up. I think in this situation, you open things up by going and scoring another takedown. Continue to work on that will, on that mind of your opponent. Nice head outside, collects, builds up to the double leg. Now you can look for some back points maybe with a lower leg Turk right here.
Labriola was rubbing his eye there. Maybe a contact issue again. But after 2 takedowns, you know, you probably confidence kind of grows. You can do it again. So there's a third takedown for Labriola.
That's a great job. I think he kind of maybe jammed up his jaw right there. I don't know if that was the contact issue. I think he jammed up his jaw a little bit right there on that double leg return right here. Boom. Head outside, collects to the second one. Nice, gets his butt low, hips extend. Boom. Yep, I think that was a jaw a little bit.
You're right, it did look like it. Looked like he kind of shook himself up unintentionally there.
That's how much power is going into, you know, finishing the takedown. And he's a big, strong young man. Another shot attempt right there. Ooh, another nice low level right there from Labriola. So right here, look, this is where you separate, you know. Another shot. Continue to move forward and continue to make Enkhmandakh move.
Yeah, looking for the major here, which would be the second of the duel for the Huskers. As that is actually the difference in the duel right now, as we have split the first 6 matches.
Nice, another low single. Now you're going to look to collect right here and tilt your opponent up to his back so that he gives you the 2, but you're able to collect the takedown. Now Labriola is going to have to find a way to put your opponent on their back. I'm sure good attack by Enkhmandakh, but I think it wasn't the best timed one. And Labriola was able to get a runaround. 10-point lead with the riding time. You don't see it on the board, but it is up there, so it's 15-5. Another low single attempt. Labriola looking to collect. Now he's going to look for a cross knee action, and if he's able to get that right leg free, that could get real dangerous for Enkhmandakh. Now he looks to collect that. Now what he's going to want to do is crawl up. Oh, and Enkhmandakh able to slip out of that action.
Yeah, fortunately for Enkhmandakh to slip out of that, because a one turn would have put them in tech fall territory, but a nice little roll there by Labriola. Almost had another turn, but the match will end here 17-5 after riding time point has been added. Mikey Labriola, the winner by major decision over Enkhmandakh. Pushes the score. Nebraska 14, Northwestern 9.